We just had the G7 that happened in Germany, not far away. Now we have the people who are the real rulers, not the political puppets that they control. But of course, we will see political puppets making a visit, making an appearance here. As Steve Watson points out, looks like Bilderberg might be backing Hillary for the 2016 presidency. Certainly, she has a strong supporter who is on the official attendee list. He points out the Bilderberg 2015 conference this weekend in Austria will focus, at least in part, they say, on the American elections. Now, one of the people there is Jim Messina. He was the head of Barack Obama's re-election campaign in 2012, and he's just come back to the United States after leading the deeply unpopular UK Prime Minister David Cameron to a surprise majority victory in British elections. So this is a guy with a very strong track record in getting people elected. Certainly getting David Cameron elected, that was quite a bit of surprise for everyone. He says, "I'm coming home tomorrow," he told MSNBC, "and it's whatever it will take to get Hillary elected." So that's now his focus after getting an unpopular prime minister re-elected in the UK. Now, Watson points out in his article that in 2008, of course, the Bilderberg Group met with both Clinton and Obama when they had it in Northern Virginia. He points out that in years past, the elitist James A. Johnson had a direct hand in selecting Obama's running mate for the 2008 election, and also selected John Kerry's running mate, John Edwards, in 2004 after Edwards impressed Bilderberg elitists Henry Kissinger and David Rockefeller with a speech that he gave in Italy that year. Now, the question is, of course, Hillary Clinton has her man on the inside, the guy who is dedicated to getting her reelected. How about any of the other politicians? Well, it turns out, just so coincidentally, that Jeb Bush is not going to be very far from where this meeting is going to be taking place. He has scheduled a trip to Europe. As a matter of fact, he's going to be in Berlin tomorrow for 2 days, and that's only about a 2.5-hour plane flight with a commercial flight from that area. So easily he could travel secretly to this meeting. And of course, he has someone on the inside that has a very strong track record as well. Robert Zoellick, who is now the chair of international advisors at Goldman Sachs, is somebody that has a very long history with the Bush family. He's been managing director of Goldman Sachs. He headed a CFR committee back in 2005 on the North American Union. Ted Cruz's wife, Heidi, was part of that organization, that recommendation from the CFR committee on North America. They recommended a common border around North America. That's what David Petraeus, Bilderberg attendee, has said. That's what comes after America is North America, meaning the North American Union, saying that we're now 20 years into NAFTA. And of course, a recommendation that came out of that CFR committee, chaired by Robert Zoellick, with Heidi Cruz as one of the 30 members there, they recommended that there would be a security perimeter around the three countries. And of course, NORTHCOM was created just back in 2002, perhaps for that same purpose. Its jurisdiction is Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. Maybe we should say the former countries of Canada, U.S., and Mexico. Now, Zoellick was also the U.S. the Deputy Secretary of State under W. Bush. He was also U.S. Trade Representative under W. Bush, but his history goes back even to George H.W. Bush. He was the counselor of the U.S. Department of State, and he was president of the World Bank. So Jeb Bush is well represented, as well as Hillary Clinton, and of course, he is in the area. We'll be looking for further updates, and we're going to have a lot of reports from our reporters this week in the area. It's going to be hard for them to get the kind of shots that we did last year. If you look at some of these shots that we've got here, we were just, as I said, right across the street. We could see them coming and going very easily, so it was kind of easy to keep tabs on them. Perhaps this year is why they went to a remote location with such heavy security, with such a large perimeter, because perhaps they want to have some secret guests come in.